Nobody has ever found a mummy inside the Great Pyramid of Giza, not one. In over a century of modern archaeology, with all the tools and technology we have today, the inside of the most famous structure on Earth was completely empty. So either the greatest builders in human history spent decades constructing a massive monument for a body that was never placed inside it, or we have been wrong about what this thing actually is. Midnight Curiosities. Tonight, we question everything. Here is what we were taught. The pyramids are tombs. The pharaohs built them as final resting places filled with treasures, surrounded by texts, decorated with images of the afterlife. And that is true for most pyramids. The smaller ones, the later ones, they are filled with exactly that. Mummies, gold, hieroglyphics covering every wall. But the Great Pyramid? Nothing. No mummy, no treasure, no funeral inscriptions, no artwork. Just bare walls, empty chambers, and a stone sarcophagus with no lid and no body. Archaeologists will tell you it was robbed in ancient times. That grave robbers took everything before we could find it. That is possible. But here is what bothers me. Tomb robbers leave traces. They break things. They miss things. They leave behind fragments of what was there. In every other royal Egyptian tomb we have ever opened, there are always traces. Always something left behind. In the Great Pyramid, there is nothing. It is as if there was never anything there to begin with. So let us take that seriously for a moment. What if it was never a tomb? Look at the construction itself. The Great Pyramid is built with a level of precision that engineers today still cannot fully explain. The base of the structure is level to within just 2 centimeters across its entire 230-meter length. The 4 sides are aligned to true north, south, east, and west with an accuracy of less than 1/10 of a degree. Modern buildings with modern tools rarely achieve that. But the materials are where things get really strange. The interior chambers, the ones deep inside the pyramid, are not built from the same sandstone you find on the outside. They are built from rose granite, and rose granite is not just any stone. It contains very high concentrations of quartz crystals. Quartz is a material with a property called piezoelectricity. What that means is simple. When you put pressure on quartz, it produces an electric charge. This is not a theory, it is a documented scientific fact. We use it today in microphones, lighters, and precision instruments. Now think about this. The entire outside of the Great Pyramid was once covered in white Tura limestone. This is an extremely pure form of limestone. So smooth and white that ancient writers said it shone like a star in the desert sun. Pure limestone is an excellent electrical insulator. It does not conduct electricity. It contains it. So what you have on the inside is granite packed with quartz, a natural conductor and electricity generator, and on the outside a shell of pure limestone, a natural insulator. If you describe that to an electrical engineer without telling them what it was, they would say it sounds like the structure of a capacitor, a device for storing and directing electrical energy. That is not a coincidence that is easy to dismiss. Now look at the king's chamber, the main room deep inside the pyramid. Researchers and acoustic engineers have found that this room resonates at a very specific frequency. The dimensions of the room, the materials used, the way the ceiling is constructed, all of it creates a space that vibrates. When seismic energy moves through the ground beneath the Giza plateau, which it does constantly because Egypt sits on active geological fault lines, the pyramid picks up that energy and amplifies it. The king's chamber hums. Why would you design a room to do that inside a tomb? There is something else. In the 19th century, when explorers were first documenting the inside of the pyramid with serious attention, they noticed unusual chemical staining on the walls of the queen's chamber. The staining suggested that at some point, 2 different substances had been stored in separate shafts leading into that chamber and had mixed together. Some researchers have pointed out that the combination described matches chemicals that, when combined, produce hydrogen gas. Hydrogen is highly combustible. It is also a powerful energy source. Is it possible that the Queen's chamber was not a burial space but a reaction chamber? A place where fuel was generated to power whatever process the pyramid was designed to run? Nikola Tesla, who gave us alternating current and modern electrical infrastructure, was obsessed with the pyramids. He spent years trying to build a tower called Wardenclyffe that would transmit electricity wirelessly through the earth. His design was shaped like an obelisk. He believed the ancient Egyptians had already solved the problem he was working on. He believed the pyramids were part of a system for broadcasting energy across long distances without wires. He never finished his tower. His funding was cut, but the pyramids are still standing. Here is what we are left with. A structure of impossible precision, built from materials chosen for their electrical properties, designed to resonate with the Earth's own energy, with no body inside and no explanation for what it was for, that matches, almost point for point, the design of a machine built to generate and transmit power. We have been staring at this thing for centuries and calling it a grave. But maybe we have been looking at the ruins of something we have not yet built again. A technology that belonged to a civilization we barely understand, that knew things about the Earth's energy that we are only beginning to rediscover. The Great Pyramid was not built for the dead, it was built for the living, and we still do not know who they really were. Subscribe to the channel.